Hello, my name is Lizzie, and this is Lizzie's Literary Life, and today is the start of my Wonderthon vlog. I am so excited. It is still the 2nd of June for me, but a couple people have already started in their time zones because it's hit midnight in their time zone. And so we have 2 submissions already. If you don't know what Wonderthon is, it's too late to participate because it's already over by the time you're seeing it. But it was a readathon that I hosted in the first couple weeks of June. The June 3rd to June 18th, and this is going to be probably a really long video where I take you through really every moment of what's happening during the readathon, both my reading, the behind the scenes spreadsheet point stuff, everyone's strategies are getting spilled in this video, and I'm so excited. So today at 10 a.m. my time, I'm in Eastern time in the US, our first Australian friend who is a member of Rhodes started the readathon and read a book and submitted it, and I was like at work. I wasn't like actively teaching, but there were kids in the room, and I was like about to cry because I felt like my baby had just taken its first steps. Like I was really like emotional about seeing the first book submission. But we now have 2 submissions, one from Rhodes, one from Babylon, and it is still only 3 o'clock in Eastern Standard Time. So crazy. The other thing that's absolutely insane is that we currently have 98 people signed up. Just take a moment, because I really was like, my stretch goal is 30. I was asking my friends, like, do you think we'll get like 3 people on each team? Like, I really thought it would just be my friends and like I don't know, but 98, we might crack 100, because I'm not closing the sign up form until midnight on the end of the 3rd. So the readathon will have run for 24 hours, and then I will cut off the sign up form, and that'll be however many participants we have. I just am kind of freaking out that it's it's almost 100, so that's awesome. In the intro to this video, what I have been asked to do by the lovely Babylon team captain Bailey is give my evaluation of everyone's strategy and who I'm predicting will win. And here's the thing. I think all of the teams are gonna go for it really hard, and that is so exciting. And I think all of the teams have a chance at winning. I will say that I think Giza, and this is kind of on me in the rules, I think Giza has the best wonder advantage. So if I were to rewrite the rules again, I would adjust that a little. But so I think if Giza can get their wonder done early, they have a really good chance at winning. However, I know that other people know that too. And Bailey today, this is incredible. Bailey created a little coalition, a little alliance between Rhodes, Babylon, and Ephesus against Giza. So everyone's going to attack Giza and make it so that Giza has to focus on military and can't use their science advantage as much, which I think is brilliant. And I'm so glad that's happening, actually. But otherwise, strategy-wise, it's really funny because Babylon and Giza have the exact same strategy to like block off certain military prompts so that they can fill up the board, get as many military points as possible without getting any bingos. Whether they'll pull it off, I don't know, but they both like made graphics or spreadsheets with the exact same thing. And so those 2 have the same military strategy, which I think is a brilliant strategy, and I think it's so funny that they both came up with it. Rhodes is planning on getting a bunch of bingos right off the bat. They also have a graphic, but they're trying to like speed run a bunch of bingos, which is really interesting. Like, I think it's a strategy. Like it could pay off for them if they get their bingos in really early, like focusing when other people are focusing elsewhere. Ephesus is the least organized team, but they have so many really powerful readers. So I think like they're also the biggest teams, which has different advantages and disadvantages strategy wise. Like, it just makes strategies a little different. But I just am like, I'm blown away by the participation and like how invested everyone is getting in strategizing. So I guess I didn't really answer the question. I don't know who's going to win. I could see it going any of the directions. And I think we'll have to see. I think something that's going to be really telling is who gets their wonder first. I know that there are people, pretty much everyone is planning to get their wonder really fast, to try to get their wonder really fast by front loading like graphic novels and short books and fast-paced books. Like, I know someone in Ephesus is planning to read all 3 Lore Olympus volumes, which totals over 1,000 pages on the first day, which I think is awesome. I think maybe even a couple people in Ephesus are planning to do that, so that's awesome. But definitely it's going to be really telling who gets their wonder first, so we will see. I don't know what else I have to say. I've been talking for a while, but I just am so beyond excited. I'm so glad everyone is participating, and I just am like blown away and so excited, and I can't wait for it to start. Ah! Okay, so it is now the 3rd, officially. I went to bed before midnight last night, and I just got up this morning and I haven't looked at my spreadsheet yet, so we're gonna look together. The Discord has been popping off, so refresh. 25 books already? Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I can tell you everything. 25 total books submitted. Giza has submitted 11, so they are in first place right now. And Ephesus has submitted 8, and then Babylon and Rhodes have submitted 3 each. So like the leaderboard currently stands Giza, Ephesus, Rhodes, Babylon, though like that's definitely just which teams had people staying up late to read books, or like people in early time zones. Like, that's not accurate to how it's going to be throughout, but I am like, my goodness. Okay, a little update. We are now at 59 books, and the scores currently, the leaderboard goes Giza, Ephesus, Rhodes, Babylon, but those top 3 are really close. Babylon is like dragging a little bit. Honestly, I think they are slow and steady wins the race turtles. I know they are reading. I know they are working. They're just reading longer books, and I appreciate that. But Ephesus is actually above Giza in military points. So if they were to declare a battle right now and get a bingo, which they can with like one more book, but they're like holding off strategy-wise, I'm not going to tell. Anyway, I'm so excited. If Ephesus was to declare a battle right now, they would land in first place. But I'm not going to tell them that, and they're trying to wait on bingos so that they can try to declare 3 at once, which is like a cool thing, but also like I just want a bingo now for the chaos. But something just happened. We just had a submission. What was it? It was Babylon. it was Bailey submitting for Babylon, military. So Babylon just went up a little. They're still in last place, but we're now at 60 books. We're doing sprints, kickoff sprints in about half an hour, and I'm very excited. I'm watching my spreadsheet like it's a movie. It's so exciting. I just am overjoyed with how everything's going. I'm freaking out. Okay, I need to calm down. Everything is fine. It's just a game. It's okay. I'm not even on a team. I don't have a stake in this. However, Ephesus just got 2 bingos at once. That means they are attacking. They are attacking right now. And if they attack Giza, they will move to first place. They're talking about attacking Giza twice with both of their bingos, which would I think move Giza down to 3rd. So I told them I was going to mute their chat and not look until they have officially decided and submitted the form. But now we just have to wait for them to decide and for them to submit. So I am Lizzie, breathe. They decided to attack Babylon and Rhodes. So they're not going to first place. The leaderboard is staying exactly as it was. So they made the wrong choice. But, it's okay because it's day 1 and they don't have the information that I have. It was a safe choice. They made a safe decision. It just was the wrong one. So it's okay. I feel like every update I come in here and I'm like, you will not believe what happened, but you will not believe what happened. Also, can I show you? Yeah. There's my bestie. This is Elta. She's here.
Y'all are really wilding out here.
Yeah. We are going for it.
Read all those books.
Yeah. So, Ephesus has declared another battle. And this time, they did it correctly. And they declared against Giza. And they won. Now, Ephesus is in first place. So we are now Ephesus, Giza, Rhodes, Babylon. Rhodes and Babylon did get hit pretty hard with Ephesus's battles early on. Babylon is still in the negative just by a little bit. Rhodes is, so the points currently, Ephesus is at 8.7, Giza is at 7.5, Rhodes is at 2.4, and Babylon is negative 0.9. And these are averaged, calculated with my spreadsheet. And we are all over 100 pages average read per player, which is crazy because I know there's a lot of people who haven't submitted books yet. So the people who have been going off. We are at 80 submissions. Who just submitted? Nessa. I'm very excited. This is very exciting. Giza, another thing I just saw, Giza has 26 people and they have submitted 26 books. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Wild. So things are popping off. Things are happening. I'm here to say another insane thing has happened. So I stepped away for a minute and people were still reading because they're reading. And we are now at 98 books submitted, which is crazy for the first day. Ephesus has declared 2 more battles. And they attacked, so they were in first place. It was, in terms of overall points, Ephesus, Giza, Rhodes, Babylon. And that was the same for Wonder points, which is what they have access to. So they had decided to attack Giza and Rhodes. Rhodes' military score, lower even than Babylon's. So they got hit really hard. They took 5 points of damage, which the points are they only had 4 points. So they are now negative. So our scoreboard is now Ephesus at 10, Giza at 5.6, Babylon at 0.1, and Rhodes at negative 1.1. I'm really hoping that the other teams can come back from this. And I think they can. I think Ephesus will get tired. I think they will maybe focus their energy elsewhere. But I'm really hoping that at least Giza can come back and start attacking Ephesus and get them down. So that then I don't know, and then maybe we'll see. Alliance chats are continuing between the team captains. So first, Giza offered an alliance to both Rhodes and Babylon. And now Rhodes and Babylon are privately discussing whether they're going to take it because they think that Giza is just going to get them as long as they're useful and then go against them. Because Giza is in second place. So, like, an alliance with them is not necessarily... So, Babylon and Rhodes are not agreeing to the alliance, it seems like, but they are in an alliance with each other. So we have Babylon and Rhodes teaming up, which is good. I like it. And Ephesus and Giza are the powerhouses, but I believe that Babylon and Rhodes can get up there. When I start reading, I will be reading for them. So I'm gonna read hard. I'm gonna honestly, like, Ephesus with their graphic novel game, I'm like, I gotta download some. Okay, I apologize for the, like, 6 updates in a row that have just been me sitting right here. Maybe I'll get some B-roll or something to break it up, but you know I'm bad at that. So I just gave the first official points update. And what I decided to do kind of last minute was that, so I had said that I was going to give the 1st through 4th place ranking of overall points. I also decided to give a 1st through 4th place ranking of a specific category of points, but not tell the people what the category was. So, our overall ranking was Ephesus, Giza, Rhodes, Babylon. And currently Ephesus is at 12.1, Giza 6.5, Rhodes 1.4, Babylon 0.2. I also gave, the other category I gave was, Ephesus guessed it, it was religion. And the order was from 1st to 4th place. I can't even remember. Let me say. It, like, is such an insignificant category. Like, and the points are, like, literally 1 or less. I just am, like, trying to choose chaos. Giza, Rhodes, Babylon, Ephesus was the order for religion points. So Ephesus was like, we know we're not focusing there, so we know that's what it is because we were last place. What else do I have to say? Oh, Rhodes got a bingo and elected not to declare battle, which was a good choice because they're in an alliance with Babylon, so they weren't going to attack Babylon, and Babylon was the only team that they currently can beat. They are getting really close to Giza in military. Currently, military points, Rhodes is at 5.2 and Giza is at 6.9. So, like, they're getting close to overtaking them. If they continue to focus there, they definitely can overtake. And that would shake up the scoreboard quite a bit. So, I am going to close it for the night. It is 8:15. We are currently at 119 books, 29,922 pages. Hello, welcome to day 2. Welcome to a different spot in the apartment. Shocker. Some things have happened. So last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe it was like 1:30, like 1:30, 2 o'clock, Ephesus got a triple bingo. And bing, bang, boom, all 3 teams. And they won all 3 of those battles. The other teams then got to working. They were reading. And Ephesus kind of went to sleep a little bit. So, because a real reader never sleeps. And just now, this whole morning, I've been working like 8:30 to 1. I was like solidly working. I was on Zoom, but I was also like, what's happening? And at about 12:45, Ephesus decided to attack Rhodes, and Rhodes decided to attack Ephesus, and Rhodes won out by like 3. They dealt like 3+ points of damage in each battle, so they dealt a total of like almost 7 points of damage, which is crazy. And it now puts Ephesus in 3rd place. The scoreboard is Giza, Rhodes, Ephesus, Babylon, and honestly, Rhodes is pretty close to Giza. Like, and Rhodes is ahead of Giza in military. So if Rhodes were to get another bingo and attack Giza, they would go into 1st place. We're at 242 books also, which is insane. I'm overwhelmed, but like in a good way. It's just that Giza is at 19.8, Rhodes is at 17.3, Ephesus is at 14.7, and then Babylon is at negative 0.1. So I'm just hoping that no one attacks Babylon for a while and they can just like slow and steady, get back up there. That's the vibe I'm hoping for. But things sure are happening. Okay, things are going down as always. We had some things go down earlier. I'm not going to update the vlog with every single battle anymore because I feel like that just would get crazy. But where we're at right now is Ephesus and Giza are both kind of planning to attack each other right now. And a minute ago, Giza was ahead in military by 0.3 points. Currently, Ephesus is ahead in military by 0.2 points. So things are so close. The final scoreboard, the overall scoreboard is Giza at 28.2, Rhodes at 24.5, Ephesus at 24.3, and poor Babylon at negative 2.9. So that's where we're at. I am like on the edge of my seat, so we'll see. Rhodes is still ahead in military points by just a little, so I hope that they attack again. That would be fun. Yeah. So I just announced 4 battles at once. Ephesus won them all. It was 2 Giza v Ephesus and 2 Ephesus v Babylon, which honestly, like, I'll just tell you what the points are right now, because Giza, I was telling you earlier, it was so close. Giza in each of those battles lost about 0.4 points, like less than 1 point total from the 2 battles they lost. Our current overall scores are Giza at 28.2, Rhodes at 26.2, Ephesus at 25.7, and Babylon at negative 29.7. And I'm ready to cry. Because it's so mean. It's so mean. It's all fun and games. It's all okay. It's all okay. It's all okay. It's all okay. I am going to go to bed. We'll see if anything happens overnight. But the work week starts tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm like, hopefully things slow down because this is insane. We are at 347 books. So good night from me for now. Hello, welcome to day 3. I would like to say that because it's Monday, the reading has slowed down, but we are now at 444 books. We have hit over 100,000 pages, which is insane. Really what I came here to say is that Rhodes is being a little scaredy cat. Like, I get it. They're being sneaky is what's happening because they keep getting bingos and not attacking. And the thing is, they're in first place. They're in first place overall and first place with military. So if they attacked anyone, they could win. But they keep chickening out. They keep being like, no, they might beat us. It's like, no, they're not going to beat you. I know you don't know that, but it like is kind of frustrating to me that they keep not attacking. I get it. But I just want to see those numbers change, and I want to see people that are not Ephesus attacking, you know? Currently, our scores are Rhodes at 36.3, Ephesus at 29.3, Giza at 27.7, and Babylon at negative 20.2. But currently with military, it goes Rhodes, Giza, Ephesus, Babylon. So Giza is currently just about a full point ahead of Ephesus on military. So they're really out here. If one of them were to attack right now, Giza would win. So I hope that happens because I want to see Ephesus get their booties kicked. Here's the thing. I am not rooting for or against any specific team. I am rooting for the leaderboard to change. Like, I'm rooting for drama. So if Giza attacks, if Ephesus right now, well, if anyone attacked Ephesus right now, the leaderboard would change. Giza would move ahead of Ephesus. Except if Babylon did, but Babylon knows that they cannot do that right now. So, like, that's why I want, like, Giza to attack Ephesus or Rhodes to attack Ephesus, because I want the leaderboard to change. I also would, like, be so, like, I don't know. I just want I'm rooting for the chaos here. So when I'm like, I want this to happen, it's not because I want any specific team to win. It's because I just want things to be interesting, which they certainly are. So there's that. Oh, also, other update from today is that 2 of our civilizations achieved their wonder. Rhodes reached 1,000 pages first at like 10 a.m. this morning, something like that, and Giza reached it at like noon. So that's awesome. That's crazy. Giza can now get like crazy points with science. Rhodes can too, but the books have to be a little more specific. But Giza can get crazy points like kind of with every book, which is a little powerful, like I think I said at the beginning of this video. But they also need to focus on military. They've got to split their focus, science and military, getting those big science points, but also making sure they don't lose a ton of battles and cancel that out with damage. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I also will say that Babylon had a slow start and they got hit really hard by some attacks, and so they're far in the negative. But they are making the biggest gains out of anyone. Like, I was looking at a screenshot I took for a battle last night, and since last night, Babylon has had the greatest increase in military points. And they're still 10 points behind Ephesus, which is the 3rd place military, but that gap is definitely getting smaller. So don't rule them out yet. I just need to record for posterity that Ephesus and Giza are currently 0.04 points apart right now. Actually, no, 0.03. Ephesus is at 29.985 and Giza is at 29.951. Hi. Every time I pop into either like Battle Declaration or Points Updates channel, I'm like, hey. I'm always, I don't know. What just happened, I was praying that this was going to happen. I like saw it kind of coming because Rhodes and Ephesus were so close in military points. And then I was so glad that it happened and Rhodes didn't chicken out from attacking Ephesus. Basically what just happened was Ephesus attacked Rhodes and Giza and Babylon, but like what's important is Rhodes right now. Ephesus attacked Rhodes and won, and then Rhodes attacked Ephesus and won. So like the points were so close and changing so fast, and neither of them took much damage, but like just wild that that happened, timing wise. So very fun, very fun. I'm gonna try to read a book tonight. So there's that. Maybe I'll tell you about a book in this vlog. Who knows? Update, day 4. It has been really quiet today, actually. So Babylon achieved their wonder last night before or after I went to bed. So we did have a quadruple wonder day yesterday, which is insane, especially considering I was like, people are going to get their wonders like day 8 or day 9. And day 3, all teams got their wonders. So that's crazy. I did this morning drop in the chat a little spicy surprise, or I dropped that there is a surprise, and that is that when teams reach, if they reach, I don't know, maybe they're gonna stop reading, but if a team reaches 2,500 average pages, which is like an insane number, 2,500 average pages, they will get an extra wonder. They will get to basically but borrow another team's wonder, and it'll be random. So once a team reaches that, I will pop in their team chat with a little spinner wheel and spin the spinner wheel and see which advantage they get in addition to their 1,000-point advantage. So that's very exciting. Our current average page counts, Rhodes and Giza are pretty high at 13,900 and 13,000. I lied. 1,309. I can't read numbers. I'm not even going to do it. The wonder counts are between, the lowest is 1195 and the highest is 1393. What else is going on today? We have a points update tonight, which is very exciting. The leaderboard is currently 554 and the points update is at 8. So as long as nothing changes in the next 2 hours, if it does, I'll update you after the update anyway. But the scoreboard currently is Rhodes, Ephesus, Giza, Babylon. Let me give you some numbers. Rhodes at 57.6. Ephesus at 45.7, Giza at 42.4, and Babylon at negative 18.8. The military scoreboard is also in that order, Rhodes, Ephesus, Giza, Babylon, but they're much closer. Rhodes is at 44, Ephesus 42, Giza 39, Babylon 34. I will say, I have so many things I need to say in this update. I've been dying to talk to someone about all of this stuff all day, and I've been at work or in Zoom meetings, and I'm I have no one to text. I have to wait until I can vlog. Okay, Babylon has been making gains. I know that their overall points are really low because they got attacked a couple times early on. But they have made the most progress. Every time I check, I keep thinking about looking at the gap between Babylon and Rhodes, which is for 4th and 1st place military, and also the gap between Babylon and Giza, 4th and 3rd place military. And those gaps have gotten, every time I look, they're smaller. So Babylon is catching up. They're currently 5.5 points behind Giza and just under 10 points behind Rhodes. But this morning it was 7 points behind Giza and 13 points behind Rhodes. So it's they are making progress. And the thing is, and I want to tell Bailey this so bad, but I'm not going to. I think that the only way that I can see Babylon getting out of last place is realistically is that I think they could make it to 1st place military. I think they could. I think if the other team slowed down and they sped up, it would be possible for them to make it to 1st place military, and then they would have to attack and get the other teams down points. Because right now, the difference between Babylon and Rhodes in the regular scoreboard is quick math, I don't know, 57 plus 18, 65, 75 points. And that's I don't think that that's achievable unless Rhodes goes down. Even 4th and 3rd place is a 60 point difference. So they have to bring the other teams down, which means they have to get themselves to 1st place military. And I think it is possible. I do. The other thing I've been looking at today is I have a count of number of books read per player on a team, per team. Books read, average books read per team. Because I think what's interesting is the team who actually reads the most books per player gonna win? And right now, Rhodes has read significantly, basically a whole extra book per player than any other team. The difference, though, is I also have a count for average books per player if the people who have submitted nothing drop out. With everyone, the current averages, Giza is in 2nd place in that stat, and they're in 3rd place overall because of the attacks. TBH, Rhodes needs to attack Ephesus and knock them down a peg, and they're too scared to do so, even though they could win. They don't know they could win, but they totally could. So I'm excited for Ephesus to attack Rhodes, and Rhodes to be oh wait, we actually can do this. But Rhodes is about a whole book ahead of Giza in terms of books read per player of the current averages. But when you take out the people who have submitted 0, that gap between Rhodes and Giza goes down to about 0.1 books per player. So Rhodes is still in 1st place without everyone else, but without the people who've submitted nothing. But Giza jumps way up there. Giza has a bunch of people who haven't submitted, whereas Rhodes is a really active team. So that's really interesting, and that's something that's going to bounce around at the very end of the readathon when I take out those people who haven't submitted. Also, I'm going to finish a book tonight. I'm going to do it. I haven't read a book so far this readathon. So I'm going to try to do that and give a little boost to Babylon. I just did the points update. The leaderboard is the same as it was last time I talked to you. The mystery stat I gave, I did a little poll, and what they chose was the little peace emoji, and that was number of bingos without declaring battles. So like, how many times did they choose peace after getting a bingo? And that was Babylon has chosen peace the most times. They've actually gotten a lot of bingos and chosen peace every time. Followed by Rhodes, followed by Giza, because they've like barely gotten bingos because they've been so coordinated. And then Ephesus has never chosen peace. They have always chosen war. So that's what that stat was. The little peace sign was how many times did you actively choose peace upon getting a bingo. I will say Rhodes and Ephesus right now are really close in military points. Rhodes is still ahead by about 1 point, but it's pretty close. And Babylon, the gap is closing. Babylon and Rhodes, so top and bottom of the military scoreboard, are now less than 10 points apart. And Babylon and Giza are only 3 points apart. So like, very exciting. I'm happy for Babylon. They're still negative 15, but like, if they can climb that military scoreboard, they can come back by bringing all the other teams down.
Hi, good morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm talking really quiet, so I'm going to bring my mic closer. Oh no. Okay. It's 5 a.m. I got up, and some things had occurred. So here's where we're at. First of all, Michaela on Babylon successfully guessed last night's mystery stat. So there's Clementine. Good for her. First prize to Michaela for that. Here comes Pumpkin. Okay. Last night, Rhodes got a double bingo and decided to clear it. Which, like, fine, but they were in first place at that point, at that time, first place military, so they could have knocked Ephesus down, and they did not. They chose not to, which is fine. I just am like, why y'all being so peaceful? This is war. And then Ephesus got a triple bingo. They like decided they wanted to attack, so they got a triple bingo. And they declared on all 3 teams. So they bing, bang, boom. And at that time, I just did the math. You're making me do math at 5 a.m. JK, I love it. At that time, they actually were in first place for military points. They had pulled ahead of Rhodes by like 1.5 points. So they are going to deal damage to Rhodes, which I'm like I appreciate it because it's knocking Rhodes down and they're like way in first place overall. But I just worry that now Rhodes is going to be so more scared to attack, even though now that Rhodes is back in first place by 0.1. But like, it's close. The other, so I'm going to declare the battle. Babylon's going to take about 9 points in damage, which is going to hurt. Giza's going to take about 6.3 points in damage, and Rhodes is going to take 1.5. So that's not going to change the leaderboard because Rhodes is more than 1.5 points ahead. Rhodes is about 12 points ahead on the overall leaderboard right now. But since that bingo was declared as of right now, 5 a.m. on June 7th, Babylon has passed Giza in military points. They can come back from this. They can, even though they're about to get hit with another 9 points of damage. They're making moves. The thing is that they don't know that they're making moves. They know that they're reading books. I've been telling them they're making moves, but they like aren't gonna know that it's safe to attack at any point. So really they need to wait. Like, they're probably gonna wait until someone attacks them. So I need Babylon to continue increasing, and then I need Giza to attack Babylon and lose, and everyone's gonna be like, what? And so I hope that happens. Babylon and Giza are like pretty far, about 6 points behind Rhodes and Ephesus in military right now, so they have some ground to cover. Giza has been struggling with the science military split. I think they need to be doing a little more military in that split right now, to keep pace with the other team's military scores. Anyway, I don't even know who's awake, but I'm gonna announce the battles that Ephesus did last night.
Hello. This readathon is moving so fast. Like, there's no way I can tell you everything that's happened today in the last, 10 hours. While I've been at work, just everything, it's crazy. I almost filmed a vlog update at work today. I was alone in my classroom, and I wanted to film. There were so many things I wanted to share, but I got shy and I didn't. What I just did, I was chatting with my team captains, just in our regular group chat, and I was there's so many things I want to reveal so bad, but I can't. Just cool stats that I want to share, because I have no one to share this with, because I'm the only one who knows. And then I just randomly, in our other group chat where I just hang out with my friends, I put a little, what I wanted to say was that, because earlier I had revealed that the difference in total scores between first and fourth place is 80 points. The difference in military scores between first and fourth place just dropped less than 5. It is now, that military difference between first place military and fourth place is 4.84. And I was whoa. I really wish I could share how close those military scores are right now. And so I did a little cryptic emoji puzzle. I put a little fencing emoji for military battle. I would have done the crossing swords, but that suggests Ephesus. That's kind of been their emoji. So we have fencing, and then I put a little hole, the hole emoji for the gap, the gap between the points, the difference. Fighty gap. Baby. Is small. So that's what that meant, if you remember that. And you're oh, that made no sense. I was saying that the gap in military points, the difference in military points, is really small. Ephesus is at 49.4, Rhodes 48.9, Giza an even 45, and Babylon 44.6. So if Ephesus were to triple attack right now, Babylon would lose less than 5 points. So that's awesome. I'm happy for Babylon. Yeah, the other thing that's super interesting, the other stat, and I can't remember what I've actually told the vlog and what's just been in my head, but I'm tracking books per player and books per active player, just to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen when I remove the ghosts, people who haven't submitted anything. And Rhodes is ahead, is about 0.8 of a book ahead in first, in books per total players, but they're the most active team. They have the fewest ghosts. So and Giza just pulled ahead of Rhodes in books per active player. Giza has the largest proportion of ghosts. So that's interesting that they might shoot up when the ghosts are removed at the end of the readathon. If that's that's far away. But it is still something interesting to consider, and something that I'm tracking. Ephesus defeated Rhodes in battle 7 times tonight. In the last, let me check, but hour, I feel or 2 hours. 7 times in the last 2 hours. So that's because they're at the point in their bingo board with, having achieved their wonder, where bingos don't clear. So they had basically an almost full board, and each prompt they filled did multiple bingos, and then they didn't clear, so they could do another one prompt. You see what I mean. So 7 times. However, that Rhodes and Ephesus military points are really close, and Ephesus did always come out on top, but they only, in those 7 battles, Rhodes only took about 10 points of damage, and they had about a 10-point lead. So now the points are like crazy close. Also, while Ephesus and Rhodes were like, Giza was just like reading with those science points. So here are the current scores. Ephesus at 58.4, Rhodes at 57.7, Giza at 56.4, and Babylon making steady gains at negative 9.2. They will make it to the positive. They will. So that's a lot. Also, what was the other thing I noticed today? Giza, maybe I told you this already, but Giza are now ahead of Rhodes in average books for active players. They're still a little behind in books per total players, but books per active player, they are now ahead. And the other stat that I have now started calculating, because every day I think of new things that I can make my spreadsheet do for me. If no damage had been taken, like if just the total positive points teams have earned puts Giza in first place, followed by Rhodes, both at 89 and 85. And then we have a huge jump down to Ephesus at 69 and Babylon at 66. So like if Ephesus weren't being like punch, they would not be winning. But also like that's part of the game. I think Rhodes they already were ahead. I think they could be further ahead if they had been more punchy, So it is what it is. Giza as well, like, has been ahead militarily. I don't know if they've been, I don't know. I don't remember. The points have been going like crazy. So we'll see. But there's a lot going on. Quick status update before I get ready and go to work, because I'm sure so much is going to happen today. Wow. Okay, so our current scores all start with 6. Overall scores. We have Ephesus at 64.3, Giza at 61.75, Rhodes at 61.72, and Babylon at 6.67. Which, yes, Babylon is still about 55 points behind overall. However, based on the scores I recorded last night at like 8 o'clock, Babylon has grown in that time since 8 o'clock last night, in less than 12 hours. They have grown 15 points, and the other teams have grown like 5 points. So they are now in first place for Wonder Points, which, as I said, like, everyone has their first wonder, but I did tease that the Wonder Points still matter whenever we get to 2,500, which currently Babylon is closest to at 1,792. Military scores are again very close. We have Ephesus at 57.8, Babylon at 55.7, Rhodes at 54.2, and Giza at 51.9. Now, here's the thing. Babylon is currently in second place for military, and they just got 2 bingos. And if they were like not shy and attacked Giza, that would like shake things up a bit. Also, like, Ephesus, they cleared their board last night, and now the board is almost full again. So they're probably going to go on like a battle blitz. And they are in first place military, but I don't know who they're going to go for. I don't know who they're going to go for. Maybe Giza. Maybe they'll do a triple attack on all 3 just for a status update. We'll see. We'll see what happens today. It's going to be an interesting day. We are at 809 books, which is insane. Giza is, there's Pumpkin's tail. Speaking of Giza, Pumpkin is on Giza. Giza is almost at 10 books per active player, which is insane. They have the highest count there, but not the highest books per total players count. That is still with Rhodes. So crazy times out here. Crazy times. Hello. It has been a crazy day for the readathon. I had a little breakdown, you know. We had some drama. It's okay. Everything's okay. I'm going to give you a little status update. Earlier today, Ephesus did a little punchy punch at Giza, and they lost a lot of points. I think this morning I told you that Ephesus, Rhodes, and Giza were all sitting right next to each other at like 68, I think, or like 58 maybe. I don't remember. You just heard it, so you remember. Here's where we're at now. We have Ephesus at 71.9. We have Rhodes at 62.2. We have Giza at 39.7 and Babylon at 11.05. However, the military board, as always, is very, very close. We have Rhodes at 64.2, Ephesus at 63.7, and Giza and Babylon tied. They can be tied because they have the same number of players at 60.3. So that's where we're at. I did just give a mystery stat and someone did guess it. I gave an emoji poll and they picked the moon, which was, so Bailey in Rhodes Bailey, guessed percentage of books read at night. And that was correct. It was the percentage of the team's total submissions that were submitted between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. EST. So I know that it's like my nighttime. It's not everyone's nighttime, but like, and Babylon was leading in that stat because last night or the night before last night, I think, they like crushed it and read so many books. So that's fun. The mystery stats have all been guessed so far, which I like. I like that it's possible to guess them. So that's where we're at. Rhodes has done a couple bingos and cleared them. They are ahead right now, so if they continue to be ahead, they should attack. But I don't know if they will. We'll see. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hello vlog, it is 10 o'clock and I am sleepy because it is past my bedtime, but I just wanted to give an update because I haven't talked to you today, unless I talked to you first thing this morning, which I don't think I did. It has been another crazy day for the readathon. I will just real talk for a second, like this has been so fun and I'm so glad so many people joined, but it was way more people than I was expecting. Like I pulled up a message in like where we were planning this readathon, me and the captains, like, and I was saying like, I hope at least 3 people are on each team, and now the smallest team is 19. So bigger than I was expecting, and also a lot more logistically, but mostly emotionally overwhelming than I expected. But I am having a blast. So, and I know a lot of other people are too. So that makes me feel really good. It's just like certainly been a lot. That being said, where are we at? We had some Rhodes v Ephesus attacks today and some Rhodes victories. Ephesus took their first like real damage. And by that I mean it was half the damage that Babylon took early on, but like in one attack. But they took some damage today and they hurt, but like it's their turn, TBH. They still have taken the least damage overall so far, which was the mystery stat tonight. So the mystery stat tonight was a hospital, and it was the total damage taken. And Babylon has been attacked the fewest times, but has taken the most damage overall, followed by Giza and then Rhodes, and then Ephesus has taken the least damage even after their attacks today, they have taken the least damage. Babylon has taken more than twice the damage that Ephesus has. And that was in a lot fewer attacks, which is the nature of, like, there was a really large disparity in the military board early on. And there actually is now a pretty big gap now. Just today, like, the military points were really, really close. They were like 4.3 points between the first place and the fourth place team, and now that difference between first and fourth place military points is 12.7. So that's just because Rhodes and Ephesus have been, like, slamming those military books, whereas Babylon and Giza are slower on military because they're using their wonders. Rhodes is not using their wonder. They've used their wonder like twice, which honestly is because their wonder's not that good, which is my fault. But they are putting all their points in military, and it shows. Whereas Babylon and Giza are splitting their points, which I think is smart, but also if they get attacked, they're going to take a lot of damage. So that's kind of where we're at. One thing that has been bringing me joy today, before I close you out for the night, is whenever Giza and Babylon are tied for military points, they have the same number of players. So, like, if they have submitted the same number of prompts, they will be tied. Because they both have 26 players. And a couple times today, they've been tied in military points. And my spreadsheet, like, I have a little ranking where it's like a scoreboard of military points where it, like, calculates, it, like, puts them in order. And it, like, freaks out when there's a tie. It goes false in big capital letters when there's a tie. And I think that's funny. So, yeah, I think it would be fun to do a little pan over my main, what's it called? Like, the dashboard of my spreadsheet. So you're going to see that right now. Feel free to pause if you want to look at all the numbers really closely. Hello. So the update, I'm about to go on sprints for today, Saturday. We've had a week of the readathon. It's been a week. It's almost halfway over. I'm having a great time, but it's also been a lot, as I said yesterday. But I'm about to go on sprints, and what happened this morning was that Rhodes reached 2,500 wonder points, which I believe I told you that when a team does that, they get a randomized extra wonder. They get to, like, borrow a wonder from another team at random. And Rhodes got the science wonder, so the science advantage, so they now can use 24 points on any science book, which is powerful. That's definitely one of the more powerful wonders. So they spun lucky, not that they needed it, honestly, because they're reading so many books. Like, the thing is, like, Rhodes is way ahead points-wise, but also they have read so many more books than anyone else. Like, they're the smallest team, so in terms of raw number of books, they haven't read the most, but in terms of, like, books read per player, total players, and books read per active player, they're, like, way ahead of the other teams. They're just reading more. So, like, that's, like, they're winning because they're reading more, and I think that's great. I do wish, like, I really want the other teams to, like, read so that they can catch up and it can be a competition. And it still is a competition if like Ephesus and Rhodes have been getting closer together in military points. So if Ephesus gets ahead and then attacks a bunch, like, that could bring them down to the same level. But it's interesting. But I will see everyone on sprints, and then I'll probably talk to you after. Hello. It's like way later than I usually stay up, and by that I mean 11:21 p.m. But last I updated you was before sprints, when Rhodes just got their bonus wonder, and they were the first to get the bonus wonder at 2,500 wonder points. I was on sprints for like 5 hours. It was a blast, and since then, just now, the last team to get their bonus wonder just did it. So during sprints, Babylon achieved it. Babylon was second to do it. Very proud of them. And they spun. So Rhodes spun science. I think I told you that. Babylon also spun science. And then Giza got it. And Giza spun military, which is interesting because they're not the least aggressive team. They're the second least aggressive team. But they have been really avoiding bingos. They've gotten the fewest bingos because they've like really coordinated to avoid that. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Also I'm pretty sure, I just need to double check. Yeah, they're in last place military right now. So I'll tell you what I'm hoping once I get through all of them. And then just now, Ephesus got their bonus wonder and they got civics. So everyone has their bonus wonder. We've got now 3 out of the 4 teams have the science advantage, which I think is something. We've got 2 teams with civics, 2 teams with military, and only 1 team with the religion advantage. So that's just how it shook out, like the way it was randomly. I sent everyone screen recordings and that was the spin. So it is what it is. But what I'm hoping, just to shake the game up a bit, is that this pulls people, specifically Ephesus, but everyone, away from military. I think getting points other ways is going to be really interesting. And then when battles happen maybe less frequently, I think they're going to be more interesting. I do hope that Giza, because of their military advantage, does focus on military, because they're currently last place military. So if they can climb and then actually start being a little aggressive, I think that would be really interesting and surprising. But I think it's going to change the game. So and everyone is happy with what they got, which I am so glad about. I didn't want anyone to get one and be like, ugh, we got the worst one. So I'm just from like a organizational, like, management perspective, I'm glad everyone's happy with what they got. But yeah, I'll give you a little scores update. Rhodes is half a point away from 100 points. I'm really low in the frame. Let me fix that. Sorry. Rhodes is at 99.5 total points. Giza is in second place at 81.6. Ephesus in third place at 78.4, so the two of them are quite close. And Babylon has climbed to 44.9, which they're still in a solid last. However, they have made great gains. Like, they have really gained. So, and with that science advantage, they can continue to gain. If they can keep their military points up enough, or like fly under the radar for attacks, they are going to be just fine. The military scoreboard right now, so you know that like the military differential that I've been calculating, like the difference between the highest and lowest military teams, it's been as low as 4, and now it's up to 17.7. So we have Ephesus at 95.4, Rhodes at 89.4, Babylon at 80.3, and Giza at 77.6. So if a battle occurs right now, no matter who's battling who, it's going to be brutal because the teams are really far apart in military right now. We're at 1,238 books. And there's just, it's happening. It's happening.
I'm at work. I'm in my classroom. I didn't actually update at all yesterday because I just was not feeling like vlogging. I'm really close to my face because I don't want you to like see details of my classroom that like are details of children or also of where I work. Anyway, so you just have to look at my face up really close. So I hope you enjoy that. What do I need to catch you up on? Last night's mystery stat was the ladder. We voted on the ladder, and the ladder was number of positive points gained in the last 24 hours, roughly 24 hours. So Babylon was first. Babylon had gained the most points. I think Rhodes was last. I think it was Babylon, Giza, Ephesus, Rhodes. But that was the number, and I gave numbers. That was the number of positive points gained in the past 24 hours. Ephesus has declared many battles this morning. So many. The current scoreboard overall: Ephesus at 92.5, Giza at 65.4, Rhodes at 50.5, Babylon at 38.8. Everyone has taken significant damage from Ephesus today, but especially Rhodes. They took like 5 cantaloupes, and each cantaloupe is 10 points. Approximately, it's 10 to 12 is a cantaloupe. The military scoreboard, but these bingos were all as of last night, and Rhodes has been reading since last night. So the current military scoreboard is Ephesus at 108.1, Rhodes at 104.7, Babylon at 93.07, and Giza at 91.1. Now, Giza has decided to give up on military. They know they're going to lose attacks, so they're trying to just gain as many positive points as they can using science, which I think is an interesting tactic. I don't know how it's going to work out. I can see it working out both ways. It depends how much they get attacked. Like, it depends how much Ephesus decide to attack them, and also the other teams. So right now, Rhodes is voting on a couple bingos whether to attack or not. If they attacked Ephesus, they would lose, but they would win for Giza and Babylon. And one of the things they were considering is attacking both Giza and Babylon to see where they stand. And the thing is, if they do that, if they attack both Giza and Babylon at the same time with a double, Babylon will then know that they are ahead of Giza. And it will be really interesting to see if Babylon realizes that they're ahead of Giza in military points and then attacks Giza themselves. I think that could be really interesting. But that's where we are at. We've had some watermelons today. Watermelons are 17 plus points of damage, which is rough. I'm really hoping that... I think if it got to 20 plus, I would do maybe a pumpkin. But I love pumpkins because my cat's name is Pumpkin. Or like, I don't know, a jackfruit. That's what when I Googled biggest fruit, that's what I got. That and pumpkins. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we don't have anything bigger than a watermelon. But it's rough out here for everyone except Ephesus. I also want to say, tracking number of books read per player, averaged for total players, Rhodes is way ahead in that stat. They're over a book ahead of Giza's next, followed by Babylon and then Ephesus. For books read per active player, Rhodes is still first, but Giza's a lot closer to them because Giza has a lot of ghosts. Still followed by Ephesus and then Babylon. Babylon, I think, has the fewest ghosts, actually. So that's where we're at. Welcome to my classroom. I'm sitting in here by myself for a little bit longer, so I'll just be watching the Discord and watching the spreadsheet, and that's the situation. Just dropped another mystery stat just for funsies because everyone was in the chat, and it was the ghost emoji, and Olivia F in Ephesus was the first to guess it. Percentage of ghost members. So currently Giza, let me pull it up, Giza I think is at like 23% ghosts being non-submitters, people who have signed up and not submitted. Ephesus is at 21%, Rhodes at 15%, and Babylon at 11% ghosts. So that's where we're at.
Okay, update. We've had a crazy day. As I said earlier, Ephesus was like slamming everyone left and right earlier. And then tonight, Rhodes passed Ephesus in military points and attacked a couple times. And so they knocked them down a peg, which is... I just love an interesting game. I just did the points update for today, and first of all, the mystery stat was beans. Everyone voted for beans because everyone wanted to know what beans was, and I thought that if I just gave the ranking for beans, no one would be able to figure out what it was, and I wanted people to kind of figure it out, so I gave the numbers as well, and Martine got it right away because Giza was last at 6 beans, which was way, like, the next Babylon was third at like 35, and Martine was like, right away, I know what we have 6 of, and it's bingos gotten. Total bingos regardless of whether they attacked or not, total bingo's gotten. And I will tell you why I chose beans. It's because my hometown had a like big festival every year on Labor Day, and my church ran the bingo, which was like hugely popular. Like it was all day bingo, cash prizes, like big prizes too. Like people won. And leading up to bingo, they collected in the back of the church dry beans, like large dry beans to use as the bingo counter chips. And so I just associate bingo with beans. So yeah, that's why beans, and its number of bingos gotten. Martine was the first to get it, but a couple other people have gotten it since. Martine got it right away. The points update, Ephesus is in first place. They, as I said, they got hit by Rhodes a couple times today, so they were like way ahead because they hit everyone so much, and then they just got hit a couple times. But they are still ahead in first place. Currently, the update I just gave was Ephesus at 80.8, Giza at 71.8, Rhodes at 70.7, and Babylon at 40.4. The thing that's going to happen after this update, though, is that Rhodes is going to be like, Giza's a target. And the thing is, Giza's points are that high because they've been doing science only. And so if Rhodes attacks them with a bingo, they're going to take, like if Rhodes attacked them right now, they would take 28.8 points in damage. Like, I don't even, like a watermelon is 17 plus. So this is like a double, like it's not quite a double watermelon, but it's like hefty. So that might happen. That would push Giza almost down to where Babylon is. And I think that's going to happen. I think that's Babylon's best chance at getting out of fourth place is if Giza gets pushed down there by Rhodes. So like, not that Babylon is reading, but if they get hit again, you know, they're about 30 points behind because of their early hits and other hits. In terms of if there was no damage taken, which I think is an interesting stat, Giza would be in first place at 185.7. Rhodes would be second at 183.9. So really close, Giza and Rhodes for first place without damage. And then we have a jump down to Babylon at 163. And then Ephesus would be last at 137.5. That's also, it's kind of reflective of books read per player, though Rhodes is like books read per player right now. Ephesus, Giza, and Babylon are all in the 13 range, 13 to 14, and Rhodes is at 16.3. But taking out inactive players changes that a lot. So all very interesting. This is a math vlog. I hope you're having a good time. I'm going to go get groceries now.
Okay, hi. I've had some wine. I promised Rhodes that if they got a triple tonight for the chaos, I would do a tipsy vlog update. So here we are. This is for you. Rhodes just did a triple against Ephesus. And they did I can't remember. They did a grapefruit. A grapefruit, which is, a grapefruit is 6 to 8 points. They did about 7.5. For each one. So they did a total of 23.5 approximately points damage, which, here's the thing. Ephesus has still taken the least damage of any team. Even after that triple grapefruit, all of the other teams, their damage is over negative 100. Over negative 110 even. And Ephesus's damage is still at negative 80. So like, do I feel bad? Or is this payback? That's the question. But this is the game. Honestly, if I'm like, I've had some wine, I'm being completely honest. What I am rooting for, like I'm rooting for the chaos first and foremost. I'm rooting for the leaderboard to change at each points update. That is the first thing I'm rooting for. The second thing I'm rooting for is the team who has read the most books to win. I think if the team that has read the fewest books wins, that means I created a flawed game. Because this is supposed to be a reading game, you know? Like, it's a strategy game, so strategy matters. But also, if you've read significantly more books, you should be ahead. You shouldn't be losing. So the fact that Rhodes has read the most books and has consistently been ahead in terms of reading the most books makes me root for them a little bit. That's all I'm going to say, I think. I'm going to go to sleep, probably. Maybe. I have one more day of work. Like, I have multiple jobs, but, like, of my primary, like, it's not 9 to 5, it's 7 to 3, but, like, of my 7 to 3 job, I have one more day before school lets out. And I am just cruising. So that's where I'm at. I love all of the teams. I really genuinely do. What I'm rooting for is number 1, chaos, and number 2, for me to have created a good game. And that means for the team who has read the most books to be winning. That's all I'm going to say. Good night. Wait, I have to do a points update post triple grapefruit. Currently, Giza is actually in first place because Rhodes and Giza have been gaining points. Since Giza has been total science, they've been gaining points at a faster rate. So they are currently at 76.4. Rhodes is at 74.9. Ephesus is now at 60.1. And Babylon is at 41.6. Now, the next city team to attack Giza is going to push them way down because Giza's military is way down. But right now, this is an interesting scoreboard. I don't think it's been like this before necessarily. So I'm interested to see where it goes from here. I was thinking that the next team I would submit a book for would be Giza, but if Rhodes keeps going, it could be Ephesus, TBH. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hello. I will be honest, it is really difficult to know or to decide when and how to update this vlog because so much happens on like an hourly basis that I just like at the end of the day, like I've been at work all day and I mean I know you saw some updates from my classroom the other day or yesterday, but I wasn't alone at all today, and so I couldn't do that. And then now it's just like so much has happened, and it's really hard to like figure out what to say also. But today was some fruit salad. This morning my fruit scale goes up to watermelon. Watermelon is 17 points of damage. Giza took 40 points in one attack this morning. They ended up taking a total of, I think, about 95 points of damage this morning, all at once. Literally, like, all at once. They took about 95 points of damage. And that's because the other day, they decided they were going to stop doing military. They weren't going to play the game other people's way. They were going to play it their way and just do science. And I respect that. I do. And so their military score has not increased. Like, they were keeping pace for a while and then they just stopped doing military, which so valid and honestly brave, and I appreciate it. Be pacifists, Giza. It's funny though that Giza was the one who got the military bonus wonder and they're not using it at all. Whereas everyone thinks that Rhodes has the military bonus wonder because they've been getting bingos a lot today. But no, they got the science bonus wonder. They just are reading. Like, they're reading. Yeah, so Giza got hit with about 95 points of damage today. And then Rhodes attacked Ephesus a few times, and they took, I think, about 35 points of damage. Yeah, 35. That's what I looked at today. So Ephesus now has taken more damage than Rhodes, but not by very much. The damage scores are, like, total damage taken so far in the readathon. Rhodes has taken 113, Ephesus 121, Babylon 122, and Giza 208 damage currently so far. Also, I calculated today damage dealt how much each team has dealt to the other 3 teams. And Rhodes has dealt 173 damage total to all 3 teams, whereas Ephesus has dealt 389 damage to all 3 of the other teams. Giza's dealt just over 1.5 points of damage, and Babylon has declared no attacks, so they have dealt 0 damage. Let me give you an update on where the scores are right now. I think both Rhodes and Ephesus, the attacky teams, are deciding to slow down on attacking for a little bit and save their bingos when they get them, or avoid getting bingos at all. But right now, so I think we're going to have a quiet day tomorrow, which honestly I could use. The overall scoreboard currently right now, 6:36 p.m. on June 13th, Rhodes is at 96.5, Babylon is at 59.4, Ephesus is at 37.6, and Giza is at -2. They got down to, when they first took their hit, they got down to, I think, -13, which is not as much negative as Babylon got at the beginning. They were at down to -25, but Babylon has had obviously more time to recover. Babylon's strategy right now is to fly under the radar. If they can avoid getting attacked, if no one realizes that they're gaining, they can at least make 2nd place and could totally win. If they can avoid attacks is the thing, especially if Ephesus gets ahead of Rhodes in military and attacks and brings them down a peg without attacking Babylon. Military scoreboard is Rhodes, Ephesus, Babylon, Giza. It is what it is. I want to talk real quick about my kind of experience running this. I've said before, it's way bigger than I thought, and it's way more work than I thought, and it's way more emotions than I thought. I have been quite stressed, honestly. It's and I know that I'm putting that stress on myself, and every day I repeat the mantra, I don't know. I release responsibility for what I cannot control. I put that phrase in my group chat with my team captains so often, because I really am just trying to let the game play how it plays, and not feel emotionally responsible for every point of damage dealt. One thing, here's Clementine, Babylon, you're not in last place anymore, you're in 2nd. Good for you. She's getting scritches. She wants scritches. While I scritch her, I'm going to say there are a couple things about the readathon, running the readathon from my perspective, that have been simultaneously so great and so awful. They go hand in hand. One of the most fun things for me is the mystery stats. When I give these numbers and people are trying to figure out what they are, or trying to make guesses. That's super fun. The mystery stat I gave earlier today was a stack of books, and it was average books read per player. I gave numbers, so everyone got it within 5 minutes. I'm not even going to say who got it first, because I don't even know. Everyone got it so fast. And I kind of, I knew that would happen when I gave numbers. But some of the mystery stats have been less obvious. Some of them have not had numbers. Some of them people don't know what they are. And so there's that. And then people are doing a lot of their own math, which I love. I love seeing people do math based on this. It shows that they care. It shows that they're into it. And I'm a math teacher. I love getting people to do math. Those 2 things are really, really fun for me. Watching people guess and be wrong and make assumptions, and people doing math. However, when those 2 things combine and people do math based on incorrect assumptions and then make strategy decisions based on those incorrect assumptions math, that is probably the most frustrating thing to me. Seeing people be so blatantly wrong and about where the numbers are because they've made some sort of assumption. And I do not want to, I'm not blaming anyone, because that would be me if I was in your position. I would be doing that math and making those assumptions, and you're working off the information that you have, and that's totally that's the game. But from my perspective, it's so frustrating to see people be for example, and I don't want to call out anyone in particular, but Ephesus being oh my gosh, we got to 100 damage, that's so mean of the other teams, and everyone else has been at 100 damage for 4 days. Or mostly like these examples are Ephesus thinking they're lower down in the ranking than they are. There's been a lot of speculation about ghosts, people who've not submitted that are going to be taken out at the end, and like I'm like, you guys have no idea actually how many ghosts any of you have. I know I gave that ghost mystery stat, but I didn't give numbers, so you can't actually calculate, and you can't really make assumptions based on that. And again, it's the game. Like, it is what it is. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just expressing that, like, that's a thing from my perspective, is watching people be wildly wrong, and then, like, that's kind of what happened with Giza today, that everyone saw Giza was in second place at the last point update, and we're like, okay, we need to attack them, and didn't realize they were 40 points behind militarily. So, yeah. Clementine really wants my attention, so I'm going to give her my attention. I'm glad I'm doing it, and I'm glad everyone is participating. And if you're watching this vlog, you must be like the nerdiest nerd, because it has been the boringest, mathiest thing. So I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. This is a math vlog, not a reading vlog on a BookTube channel, and I don't know who's watching, but I love you.
Hello, I just want to do a quick update because a few hours ago I gave a mystery stat, and it was the parrot emoji. Everyone voted for the parrot. And most people were so off. Like, I was really not expecting anyone to get it. So, like, it's, like, totally fine, especially even though I gave numbers, they were, like, numbers that only I have access to, for every team, or, like, it was a weird one, you'll see. So I wasn't expecting anyone to get it, but Jody on Babylon was the closest first. And she said, I wonder if it's because of the parrot who's talking the most. And she said, I don't know how you would quantify that. And that is it. I did it like on Discord, you can search how many messages have been sent in a particular channel. So I did the number of messages in each team's chat divided by the number of people on the team. Rhodes is chatty, Ephesus is chatty, Rhodes is the most chatty per player, but I thought that was fun.
Okay, wait, literally as I was recording that update, Belle and Kayla in Rhodes figured out the like searching in Discord by channel to see how many messages there are. So Jody was first, but good for them. Quick credit to Lainey, because Lainey was in Rhodes. Rhodes, it was like Lainey, Belle, and Kayla were having the conversation. Lainey and Belle figured it out. I just want to make sure to give the credit to the right people. The next morning, I just want to come in and say really quick that Babylon and Giza both have the exact same plan for the end of the readathon, which is really funny. They both are deciding they really want to fly under the radar of the next points update so that they don't get attacked, which is going to be definitely harder to do for Babylon than for Giza. So they're like, we're just going to read until leave the last chapter of each book unread so that like we don't have to submit them until after the points update, and then so it looks like we're doing really poorly, and then hit them with all those books at the end, which I think is so funny. Like, I think it's a great strategy. I think it's very smart, and I think it's very funny that they both came up with it at the same time.
Hi, I'm going to give a quick update of where we are as of 4 o'clock approximately on the 15th. I can only talk for 5 minutes because I have a tutoring session at 4 o'clock. It's 3:55, so that's probably a good limit. Make my editing life easier. Currently, so this morning, Rhodes attacked Ephesus for, I think, a tangerine, which is like 4 points. Tangerine is, looking at my fruit scale, 3 to 4 points. So yeah, so it was 3.5, 3 point something points. And attacked Babylon for a watermelon plus a grapefruit, so like 26 points. The scores right now are Rhodes at 126, Babylon at 55.9, Ephesus at 47.5, and Giza at 20.8. Now, the military scores, though, Ephesus is closing the gap on Rhodes, which they know they're doing because the fruits have been getting smaller as Rhodes is attacking them. And Rhodes has decided generally, like, from this point forward to not attack and wait to be attacked, and hopefully, like, they get attacked and and they win. Like, that's their idea. But which is totally possible. So Ephesus could surpass Rhodes in military and attack and change some things on the leaderboard. We have our last points update tonight, and I think that's going to put a target on the back of Babylon, but also like make Ephesus realize that they're not as far behind as they think they are. Basically what my predictions at this point, I think that Rhodes is likely to win. Like, I think we all know that. But it's possible that Ephesus will get ahead in military and then attack Rhodes so much, like just toss apple after apple after apple, and get Rhodes down far enough that Babylon or Ephesus could win. If Babylon flies under the radar and Ephesus does that, Babylon could win. Like, if Ephesus gets Rhodes down, that doesn't mean that Ephesus is necessarily going to win, because they don't gain points from those attacks. Rhodes just loses points. So it's possible, I think, Babylon or Ephesus could win at this point if Ephesus attacks Rhodes. Giza is behind, but I also know that their strategy is to just like mass submit, like they are saving books to saving the last chapter of books, and Babylon's kind of doing this too, but Giza is really like saving the last chapter of books to finish after the points update so they don't get a target on their back, which I think is really smart. And so if they and they're submitting everything to science, which is the biggest points category. So if they could, again, if there's more battles with the people at the top, they could sneak ahead as well. I think while Rhodes is probably the most likely to win, I do think anything could happen at this point, which is really exciting. And I'm excited to see what people think after the points update today. I think people are going to be not surprised about Giza or Rhodes where they are being top and bottom, but I think people are going to be surprised at how close Babylon and Ephesus are, and also that Babylon is ahead of Ephesus. Might be a surprise. I don't know. I think it's going to be a surprise to Babylon, but not a surprise to Ephesus, because Ephesus thinks they're doing worse than they are. And Babylon also thinks they're doing worse than they are. I think everyone thinks they're doing worse than they are. Relatively, which is good. People hopefully will be pleasantly surprised by the update tonight. I'm doing sprints later. I have to tutor, so I'm going to stop talking, but that's where we're at. Okay, I'm on sprints right now, and I just wanted to give a little update because we just did the points update. The points aren't that much different from the last time I told you. Everyone's a little higher, but no one's attacked, so they're, relatively the same. The mystery stat was the ruler, and it was average length of book. I did give numbers, so people guessed it pretty fast. I think the first person was Cheyenne in Giza, and I don't know if I updated the scissors mystery stat was science, and I think it was someone in Giza that guessed. I think it was Chris Reeds. Yes, Chris Reeds and Giza guessed it first. So Giza has been getting these mystery stats. Giza's not the only team that has guessed this ruler mystery stat, but Cheyenne on Giza was first, so I want to shout that person out. Giza's we're chilling. We're gonna keep submitting, keep going full science, fly under the radar, not get attacked, go full science, see if we can get to third place, I feel like is kind of their thing. And I totally think they could. Babylon is what do we do? We might get attacked because we're in second place. But so I said on sprints, I said this earlier, I think multiple teams have a chance of winning. Giza, I think it would be really tough for them to win. I think there would have to be a first place win. I think there would have to be a lot of fighting among all three of the other three to get down there. So we'll see. Okay, it's the morning. Quick update. All the teams have increased their scores. Babylon is now at 74 and Ephesus at 61. So Babylon is increasing their overall points faster than Ephesus significantly. And Giza's now at 45. So they've more than doubled their points from the update last night, which is awesome. Rhodes is at 138. What's interesting is that everyone thought, or like, no, Babylon Bailey was messaging me saying like, there's going to be so many battles tonight, like I'm scared. And there was nothing. Because the thing is that Rhodes has decided they're not battling anymore. Like the difference is big enough, it would just be rude to battle at this point, and also would like just reveal information about their standings to the other teams. So they're peaceful from this point forward. And Ephesus is still, they don't think they can beat Rhodes yet. So they're not battling yet. Their board is set up that like whenever they decide they're ready to battle, they can get a bunch of bingos and do a bunch of battles right in a row because they have like 4 empty squares right now. So things are like tense. Everyone's like, what are we gonna do next? Ephesus has actually surpassed Rhodes in military scores. They're now about 1 full point ahead of Rhodes in military, which would be like a blueberry victory if they were to attack right now, but still, like, they don't know that they're ahead, but they are. So like, if the gap continues to widen, if they continue to increase military faster than Rhodes does, what I said yesterday about like Ephesus attacking Rhodes and then someone else winning could totally happen. It's just that Ephesus needs to have the confidence to attack, like they need to realize that they can attack. And I don't know when that's going to happen. They're saying they're going to wait until like tomorrow night, Saturday night, or like a Sunday to like just attack as much as they can because like for the hell of it, like we're going to beat Rhodes or die trying was like the attitude. Like we're going to get them down or we're going to die, and that's fine. So like just risk it for the biscuit, I guess. But that's where we're at. We also hit 2,000 books last night. I stayed up until we hit 2,000 books, which was really exciting. So we're now at 2,078. And we're approaching 500,000 pages. So crazy. Everyone is gaining. It's still an open game. And it's very exciting. Y'all, Ephesus just accidentally got 4 bingos. And if they don't declare any of them against Rhodes when they are a 1.5 ahead, it is what it is. But it's gonna be something watching this poll go, them thinking they can't beat Rhodes, and I know that they can. But I'm not allowed to vote, so I'll just be quiet, but
Ephesus just attacked Babylon. Wrong choice. TBH. They did 34 damage, and Babylon is now in last. They have been pushed behind Giza, and Ephesus is now in second. So they still have a bunch of pending bingos because they were like, well, we got a couple, let's just like clear the board so that we can reset it. So we'll see what they do with the rest of them. So now, Ruby of Rhodes has asked Bailey of Babylon. Babylon just got attacked by Ephesus, so Babylon now knows how many military points Ephesus had as of that bingo, which was at about 10 a.m. today. So about 6 hours ago. And Ruby wants to know how many military points Ephesus had to know if they can beat them, I guess. And the thing is, at that point, it was so close. Now, Ephesus is about 1.5 ahead, but at that 10-15 bingo, they were like less than a point apart. So the thing is, like, even if Bailey does give Ruby that information, I don't know how much it's gonna... I'm hoping that she does give it, just because I feel like it's going to cause chaos either way. Like, something's going to happen. And I like when things happen. But Babylon is currently discussing amongst themselves what they're going to ask for in return if they do take this deal, if they do give the information. So, very interesting. So, Rhodes and Babylon came to an agreement that Rhodes is not going to attack Babylon until the last 12 hours of the readathon, so not until noon on Sunday. And Bailey just gave Ruby the score, and it was like actually a really accurate, very accurate score, that they had 174.05 points at the time of that bingo. Rhodes took the deal because they weren't going to attack Babylon anyway, because they're so far ahead, it's not useful to them. And they're not mad at Babylon for anything, so it's not not likely that they would have attacked them anyway. I'm gonna see what Rhodes wants to do with this information because it is, and I was rudely cut off by my storage being out of storage. But I think all I need to say is that they made the deal. Bailey told Ruby how many points they have, and Ruby agreed not to attack Babylon until the last 12 hours of the readathon. And Ruby took the number of points to Rhodes, and Rhodes was like, hey, I think they might be ahead of us right now. Which is true. They are ahead. Ephesus is ahead of Rhodes right now, it's so interesting that they know that, because now they're not going to attack. And I don't know if they were going to attack anyway, but it would have been super interesting if Rhodes had attacked Ephesus and lost. And then, because I know then Ephesus would go bingo, 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 and just keep attacking Rhodes. And that would maybe trigger Ephesus to do that attack spree earlier. Whereas now that Rhodes knows, maybe they're going to focus more on military again and build their military points up so they are ahead. So this could have eliminated Ephesus's chance of winning, possibly, if Rhodes now puts their military back up, but I don't know. It's still an open game. But definitely interesting. Drama. Guys, Rhodes just did it. Rhodes just attacked Ephesus with a double bingo. They attacked twice, and they lost. And it was only a tangerine loss, and it was barely a tangerine loss. It was almost an apricot. It was just over 3 points, 3.04 or something. But they did do 2 of them. And now the question is, does Ephesus start banging them out while they know they can win, or do they wait until they have a bigger lead? That's the question, because I think they should start banging... Sorry, I'm making sure Pumpkin didn't mess with anything on the spreadsheet. I think they should start banging them out, because they know that they can beat Rhodes down a little, and Rhodes is so far ahead that, the only way any other team has a chance of winning is if Ephesus beats them down, like I've been saying. And they would have to do a lot of tangerines to get them down far enough, but Ephesus can get bingos really fast with their Wonder and their 37 people. So I think it would be smart for them to just bingo fire away tonight, and then see what happens. So, I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's what I think they should do. They're talking about hitting, Ephesus is talking about hitting Babylon and Rhodes with a double to just since the Rhodes bingo was from an hour ago, see if they could still beat Rhodes instead of hitting them with a double right away. However, why would you hit Babylon? You already hit Babylon today, and they lost a bunch of points, and now they're in last. So, I don't know. I mean, you could do what you want, but I feel like it's, from the numbers that I see, it's more beneficial to have a double hit on Rhodes. But also, I know they can win, and they don't know that they can. So the gap has actually widened. It was a tangerine an hour ago, and looking at it, I haven't calculated, but I think that'd be an apple now. An apple, or maybe even a grapefruit. Apple, I think.
Hello, I am in start and stop traffic. Oh my gosh, the person in the car in front of me is smoking. Cool. That's fine. They can do what they want. Wonderthon updates. So last night...
take exit 17, then keep left at the fork.
Will do. So last night, Ruby convinced Rhodes to attack Ephesus, and they lost. And so Ephesus, I think I updated. I don't know when I last updated last night, but Ephesus was like, okay, I guess we can attack now, So they got a bunch of bingos. I ended up and were hurling peaches and tangerines and apples, and I think I went to, I went
keep
to bed.
Left at the fork.
I went to bed before they finished, so I caught up this morning, and they'd had, I'm going to have to merge onto the highway. So
continue for 75 miles.
Now that I'm no longer in traffic and I'm actually on the highway, I don't want to talk for very much longer, but Ephesus was attacking Rhodes. Rhodes is still ahead as of now, and Ephesus is refilling their board, so when I
stop at a rest stop. I presume that there will be bingos and attacks and battles to take care of, but we will see. And I will check in. Maybe still in Connecticut, maybe in another state.
I don't quite know the last update I gave. I don't think I gave an update last night when Ephesus did literally 12 peaches on roads. Each peach is 4 to 5. They were like 4.5 each. 4.5 times 12. Like 50 some damage. Anyway, that was a lot. So that pushed roads into third place. Let me tell you where we're at right now. Currently, at almost noon on the last day, so there's 12 hours left in EST, but some people are done because they started earlier in their time zone, so they're finishing earlier. Ephesus is in first place at 128.8. Giza is in second place at 122.0. Rhodes at 112.8, and Babylon at 50.5. Babylon is going to struggle to get up there. I don't think, yeah, they got hit by a couple of big attacks yesterday, so that's where they're at. If no one attacks Giza, Giza could win. But if someone attacks Giza at this point, they're going negative because they have over like a 150 point difference in military scores, and that's more points than they have. So if anyone attacks Giza, if either Ephesus or Rhodes attacks Giza, Giza's going negative. Otherwise, I think they could win. If they can fly under the radar without getting attacked, I think they could win. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if Ephesus would let that happen. What's funny right now is that both Ephesus and Rhodes think that the other one is ahead of them. Like, Ephesus is doing calculations, and they're like, oh, if they attacked us right now, they would do an apricot. But actually, they are neck and neck. They are currently, and Rhodes thinks that Ephesus is ahead. Ephesus thinks Rhodes is ahead military. Rhodes thinks Ephesus is ahead. So that's funny watching that when they're neck and neck. They're currently, Ephesus is ahead by 0.3, but they've been like going back and forth as people submit books. So that's super interesting. And we'll see what the next attack does. If it's, later on today, if one of them decides that they are going to go for it. So we'll see. Last day. Lots going on. Crazy. Guys, I just watched Giza hop into first place. They have been steadily gaining on Ephesus with their science books, and they just hopped into first place. The thing is, if they get hit even once in a battle, they will go negative. So, but if they can fly under the radar, if no one attacks them, they're gonna win. And I think that would be awesome. Hello, I just went on a long walk, so I am red in the face, but I want to say this now before more things happen tonight. I think there are 3 ways that this could go. I think the probably most likely and kind of the simplest way would be that, well, first let me tell you where we are. We have Giza at 155, Ephesus at 149, Rhodes at 139, and Babylon at 65. That's where we're at. I think the simplest, probably most likely scenario is that Ephesus attacks everyone, and they're first in military points, and they would win. That's, likely, and honestly, I don't know. That's probably pretty likely. What could happen is that if no one attacks Giza, Giza's winning. I don't think we can get to the end without each team being attacked at least once. And if Giza gets attacked, currently the difference between Ephesus and Giza, if Ephesus attacks Giza once, they do 170 damage. Pushing Giza into the negative. Because Giza stopped doing military and did science entirely. And that's why their point value is so high. But it also makes them very vulnerable to attack. They would 100% lose if they get attacked at all. So one possibility, which I think would be really fun, is that no one attacks Giza and then Giza surprise wins. The other thing that I think would be funny if it happened is that it's possible. So Ephesus is doing their own calculations of how many military points they think Rhodes has. But they are doing that based on the assumption that every book Rhodes submits goes to military. And Rhodes is doing a lot of science right now. And Ephesus is doing those calculations, and assuming that every boat goes to military, and so they think that they're behind, or like neck and neck with Rhodes militarily, when actually they're about 12 points ahead right now. If they don't, like, if Rhodes keeps submitting books and Ephesus keeps assuming they're going to military and then thinking that they can't win a battle, and they don't attack Rhodes, with Rhodes actually doing science, they could make up that 10-point gap and end up winning. I think that I think that if Ephesus decides to attack everyone, they're winning. Like, that's what's going to happen. But if, for whatever reason, they don't attack Rhodes, or they don't attack Giza, Rhodes or Giza could win. Babylon's probably not going to win, because they're so far behind. But it is what it is. Those are the possibilities.
Okay, hi, good morning. I went to bed pretty early last night before any bingos had occurred. And I woke up to 22 bingos from Ephesus and 2 from Rhodes. So I haven't done any calculations yet, and I haven't done a lot of the polls yet, but depending on who Ephesus decides to attack, well, basically, unless Ephesus chooses peace a ton, they're winning. We'll see. So I just resolved the first batch of bingos from last night, and here's the current scores. Ephesus at 172.9, Rhodes at 69.2, Babylon at negative 136.5, and Giza at negative 364.3. I will let those speak for themselves.